It will most likely come. Okay? But you won't be coming. I'll tell you that much. There is not going to be the gay sex that you're looking for in that body camera footage. Okay? You especially won't be coming at the top of the hour, though, unless you're subscribed for $5 or for free. We're still going with 1 minute ad breaks. I'm not going up to 4 yet. Partially because I don't know how to run 4 minute ad breaks, really. And partially because I haven't signed on yet. But if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe, which you could do for $5 or for free with a Twitch Prime. Or by getting gifted a sub, if you are lucky. Here's the 1 minute ad break. 1 minute for now. They literally want to meme the footage and laugh at a guy doing a terrorism? Yeah. No, I think you can run up to 10 minutes of ads, by the way, for those of you who say, I think it's maxed out on the button on my thing, but you can definitely run it up to like 10 minutes or something. I think. They're asking for 8 minutes from others? Yeah. Basically 5 out of 10. Come on. Wait, what? All right. Let's continue. New details emerge about Paul Pelosi's
Begin with
alleged
horrifying
assailant.
new details about the attack on Paul Pelosi and the alleged plot against House Speaker Nancy Pelosi. So according to authorities, a man accused of breaking into her home and attacking her husband wanted to interrogate Nancy Pelosi, believing she was telling lies. He allegedly told authorities if he didn't like the answers or he thought she was lying, he was prepared to, in his words, break her kneecaps. David DePape now faces multiple charges, including attempted murder. He'll be arraigned later today. Jonathan Vigliotti.
It's always funny when they show his face, bro. I mean, normally you're like, oh, we shouldn't show the faces of like these assailants in order not to create copycats. But I feel like this one's pretty good. This one, you kind of are working against every motherfucker that wants to do this looks like this. So, you know, with the relentless bullying that this guy is getting, I feel like maybe other people will be like, yeah, damn, dog. Like I should probably, if I do something like this, I want to look better. So then they start working out and then they hit the gym and then they no longer have time to fucking go to the same Discord servers, go to the same forums that they were frequenting. And then they actually end up fixing their lives. And then they no longer want to do the dumb fucking stochastic terrorist shit that David DePape failed to engage in.
Is outside the Speaker's house in San Francisco. Jonathan, good morning to you. As bad as this story is, it could have been so much worse. These details are just stunning.
They are, and good morning to you, Gail. Federal officials really describing a very disturbing plan, saying the suspect arrived here at this home early Friday morning with a bag of items to take Nancy Pelosi hostage. They say he intended to tie her up and assault her using a hammer.
This was politically motivated.
San Francisco DA Brooke Jenkins was clear about what investigators say were the alleged attacker's intentions early Friday morning.
This house and the speaker herself were specifically targets of the defendant.
Jenkins said there was no security at the home when David DePape broke in armed with 2 hammers, zip ties, tape, and a rope.
The defendant made his way upstairs, locating Mr. Pelosi in his bed sleeping. He woke him up, confronting him about the...
Wait, while I agree this guy's a freak, how do we separate something like this and say a revolution of the proletariat? Well, unless you're fucking fantasizing like a weirdo LARPing in a Discord server or LARPing on a fucking subreddit, that is the difference, okay? The main difference is this revolution of the proletariat doesn't happen unless you have on-the-ground organizing, unless you have labor militancy. So if we have a 10% unionization rate in the labor force in this fucking country, if we have no fucking class consciousness, the only time you act out on a desire that you have for a violent revolution, you're going to look like David DePepe, okay? It's most likely going to be misplaced anger, okay? You can't just do that. But Americans are so born and bred hyper-individualistic that they can't even fucking comprehend it beyond. And even when it comes to like solutions, okay? Even when it comes to like solutions to problems, Americans still think individual responsibility will be able to solve certain systemic problems. That's why I get so fucking triggered when I hear anarchists talk like fucking ANCAPs, as though they're going to mutual aid and charity away the genuine harm that these oppressive structures have created. You know? It's not. That's not how that works. Unfortunately, that's not how that works. That shouldn't stop you or deter you from doing mutual aid. I certainly do it as well. But like, remember that there is no like one guy that's going to, Captain America and usher in socialism that way. Okay? So you're advocating for individual irresponsibility? Well, I would say that this is fairly individually irresponsible. No, I'm advocating for collective responsibility. I know that you tried to do that brain broken, I'm so mentally ill on Twitter type beat right here in this fucking chat, but usually we just clamp down on that pretty hard, okay? No, I said I like pancakes. I didn't say if you eat waffles, I'll kill you, okay? Don't try to come in here and fucking capture a stun lock here, you fucking idiot. It took 30 seconds to diminish your idiotic point, and you look like a dumbass now, okay? Let's continue.
The whereabouts of Speaker Pelosi.
Paul Pelosi told DePape his wife would not be home for several days, according to the newly released criminal complaint. At one point, the speaker's husband was able to go to the bathroom, which is where he called 911.
Yeah. He pulled away from the gay sex to go to the bathroom. He said, I need to douche myself, brother. I need to do a douche. If we're switching and I'm bottoming, I'm going to be douching. That's what Paul Pelosi said, okay? In my mind, in my desires, in my fantasies. And then he pulled out the phone and called 911 because he was mad. It's a lover's quarrel, brother. We need to see the sex tapes. I mean, fuck, the body camera tapes.
Two police officers arrived at the front door 2 minutes after that 911 call. When that door was opened, the defendant was holding his hammer, which Mr. Pelosi appeared to be attempting to control by holding a portion of that hammer. The defendant then pulled the hammer away from Mr. Pelosi and violently struck him in the top of his head.
At that point, Jenkins said, police immediately apprehended the suspect. According to the complaint, DePape then told police his plan was to hold Nancy hostage and talk to her if she told the truth.
This is the funniest part about this coverage, is that like, and I've mentioned this already so many times, but it bears repeating. You can have a motherfucker be like, I'm a conservative. I just voted for the Republican down ballot, okay? I love conservatism. I love the Republican Party. I have been personally radicalized by Tucker Carlson, and that's why I'm doing this violent action towards Nancy Pelosi, okay? And Republicans will still turn around and be like, hold on. Was he sewing hemp bracelets in 1984? Sounds like Antifa to me, brother. It's like, bro, he's saying what he wants to do. He said he laid out his plan, dog. He laid it out. He admitted it. And you dumb motherfuckers on the Republican side are still like, I don't know. He's pretty gay. Now, the irony, of course, and the weird part about this conversation that no one is having for some reason is that this happened in San Francisco, luckily. And that's the reason why he was armed with fucking tools from a tool belt and not an easily accessible AR-15, shotgun, handgun, because it's not as easy to get a fucking gun in California as it is anywhere else. Because that shit would have been very different if this was somewhere else.
Truth, he would let her go, and if she lied, he was going to break her kneecaps, saying she would then have to be wheeled into Congress, showing other members there were consequences to actions. DePape also explained generally that he wanted to use Nancy Pelosi to lure another unnamed individual. With the midterm elections a week away and threats against officials escalating, the DA called on everyone to tone down the rhetoric.
We should be able to all engage in passionate political discourse, but still remain respectful of one another.
9mm hip. HasanAbi is going to be there at 7, so we will have a good night to see them before he gets there at 5, and we can just meet them there at the same spot. We will have a good time at your place. If we don't get there by 5, we have a lot. Paul has the most incredible, beautiful, and sweetest smile. I am in awe at his talent. HasanAbi is going to be there in about 5 minutes to pick up the kids. Then I will be here in a few minutes to pick up the car from my car to drop them back and get my stuff out. Huh? Let's not do that any longer, I think. Let's hear what Trump had to say, though. As Paul Pelosi reportedly remains in the ICU, Donald Trump spreads baseless conspiracy theories that the attacker is already disputed.
It's weird things going on in that household in the last couple of weeks. Probably you and I are better not talking about it, but it seems, was broken from the inside to the out. And, it wasn't a break-in, it was a breakout. I don't know. You hear the same things I do.
Yeah, the 9/11 tape seems to suggest that that he knew the identity of the guy.
Yeah. It's a lot of bad stuff. I'm not a fan of Nancy Pelosi, but what's going on there is very sad.
Yeah, it seems to me there would be security evidence of this. There just seems to be more to this story. Would it be safe to say?
This is, I think, more than the traffic accident, it looks like to me. I think the traffic accident
on Republicans or you, sir? I mean, how absurd. Clearly, this was a deranged man. We know that much.
Yeah. The whole thing is crazy. I mean, if there's even a little bit of truth to what's being said, it's crazy. But the window was broken in, and it was strange that the cops were standing there practically from the moment it all took place. So I don't know. You're going to have to explain that to your audience. You're going to have to explain it to everybody, including me, because that one's.
Yeah, it's so crazy. I mean, it's so wild. I wonder how any of this could have happened. Oh, well, I guess we'll never know. It's like, bro, if you're genuinely curious about what happened, you can just look at the information that has come out thus far on the attacker's motivations, the attacker's political ideology, all this shit. It's not truly a mystery. Why are they was the window was broken in? That even true? They saw that photo of plexiglass. There was glass both on the inside of the house and also on the outside of the house. The motherfucker literally said, yeah, I broke in. It's not like this is a secret, okay? But it doesn't matter because these guys are super motivated to make it seem like the official narrative that another one of their fucking weirdo loser friends decided to act out on their violent desires because they're conspiratorial psychopaths with nothing else going on in their lives is too hard to it's too hard a pill to swallow, basically. Okay? That's what this is. They're having a really, really, really hard time justifying the reality because the reality makes them look bad. So they're desperately trying to be like, well, what if they were actually doing a gay orgy and the cops were involved and the plexiglass was broken from the inside? That's it. These guys openly admit what their desires are all the fucking time. The guys that engage in these violent actions, I mean. They openly showcase their desires. They write about it. They talk about it. They say it all the fucking time. But even then, it doesn't matter because, like, conservatives don't want to fucking admit it. The conservatives don't want to recognize that their, like, rhetoric is causing this kind of fucking action. They don't want it. That's you, man. It's like facing the mirror. You know what I mean? You don't want to fucking look at the mirror. You don't like the image that the mirror is like showing back at you. So you're desperately looking for any kind of way to get away from that. So you just make shit up. Feel me?
Figuring out Russia and figuring out China is much easier.
Yeah, well, it would. Yeah. I think in time we're going to learn more. If in fact there's a curious.
I think this is the beginning. It looks, but it's a sad situation. Very sad, actually.
COVID again. That's how plexiglass breaks. Isn't the gay conspiracy the most obvious? Why do you think it's more complicated than that? Good one. Exactly. Yeah, when I see someone break in, openly admit that they broke in because they want to kill Nancy Pelosi, my immediate thought is, oh, they must be having homosexual sex, because that's what's on my mind, obviously. Will Mineker actually had a pretty funny take about that, pretty much that joke, that the idea that like, hold on. The idea that, a 42-year-old man was hanging out with an elderly man immediately went to rough trade for them. That's a little sus, okay? That like, well, I can't click on anything that Will is posting right now because he's posting a lot of fucking cocks on his timeline. He's in the erotic museum in Miami, I think. Oh, what the fuck? Trump had another take on Kanye West. Yo, let's go. Hold up. Got to hear that one too. Man, God, he's giving us some juice right now, you know?
I was very honored in a sense because he said all those great things about me on Tucker Carlson. He made some statements, rough statements on Jewish. You heard them and you know them well.
Yes.
And they're saying
Jewish.
that was the reason. So then you ask, well, would it have been the same thing if he didn't say all those good things about Trump? You just don't know. Yeah. I was very honored in a sense because he said all those great things about me on Tucker Carlson. He made some statements, rough statements on Jewish. You heard them and you know them well.
Yes.
And they're saying that was the reason. So then you ask, well, would it have been the same thing if he didn't say all those good things?
I don't even know, dog. What the fuck? What the fuck? Wait,
I was very honored in a sense because he said all those great things about me on Tucker Carlson. He made some statements, rough statements on Jewish.
He's saying, okay, I'm going to translate. I'm the #1 Trump stan. I'm going to translate what he's saying here. I know a lot of you are having a hard time comprehending what he's saying, but it's pretty clear. Okay? Donald Trump is saying, thank you, Kanye. Very cool for saying nice things about me. Oh, no. You said some rough things about Jewish, which I think he means like Jewish people. That's not cool.
You heard them and you know them well.
Yes.
And they're saying that was the reason. So then you ask, well, would it have been the same thing if he didn't say all those good things about Trump? You just don't know.
Yeah.
What? Okay, never mind. I take it back. We only hate anti-Semites when they support Trump. It just so happens that anti-Semites and Trump supporting his Venn diagram is a circle. No, it just means he's swearing on Jewish, like how you say on God. No, he's not doing that. He's saying that Ye wouldn't have been criticized for the Jewish stuff if not for Ye's support for Trump. Thank you. That was way better. I didn't even understand it.